Hello, everybody. Andy Lightbody, Rocky Mountain Television, Outdoor Adventures, and greetings from deep in the heart of Texas. Well, today we're on the Big Woods on the Trinity River with Dr. Robert McFarland. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with it, this is a gorgeous spread, over 8,000 acres, as a premier hunting and shooting resort. There's also a little fishing from time to time if you know where to go. Joining us again is Doc McFarland. Doc, thanks for taking the time. Thanks for hosting us and the great hospitality down
Oh, it
here.
was my pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about Big Woods.
Well, the Big Woods is sort of an interesting place in that the Trinity River comes through here, and its floodplains really define the ranch. The floodplains are so much more fertile than the regular high ground, and the Big Woods is about 75% flooded in the winter, and not the soils, the silt and the fertilizer come down from Dallas and make the deer bigger, the trees taller, the acorns more prolific.
Dogs, mean?
Yeah. Perhaps.
Yeah.
And it also makes sort of a flyway for ducks to follow down. The Trinity's in the central flyway, and when the river's flooded, it's just an awesome duck habitat.
So I was going to say, you've got some tremendous areas that right now are low because you're doing maintenance on them and you're planting and things like that. But come fall, you really are well known as a duck hotspot, aren't you?
What we're really known as is sort of a little Stuttgart, Arkansas. We're known for hunting mallards in timber, and we have a bunch of open marshes too. We have about a little over 2,000 acres of water on about 22 different marshes.
Jeez.
And the duck,
Waterfowl paradise, really.
yes, we had a bad drought last year, but we're bouncing back from that, and it actually lets us do a lot of marsh maintenance. The more you know about duck hunting and what the ducks like, the more work it is. You have to, every 2 or 3 years, you have to farm it almost like a crop. Otherwise, the annual plants take over and they grow from roots and not seeds. And so when we're closed in the summer because it's so hot, except for misguided persons like you. But we're doing our duck maintenance and our road work. We have over 100 miles of roads that you've seen some of this trip.
Yeah, in fact, I'm told we're so close that you could actually drive closer from here to Houston, Texas, out of Tennessee Colony, than you could to hit every single road and every single spot on this ranch.
For once, you're right.
Yeah. I read the script. I read his promo literature. Doc, you're also pretty well known up here for some real fine hog hunting. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, the hogs are sort of interesting. I think, unlike trophy deer hunting, it's not as widely understood. One of the things about hogs that I especially like is they're ugly, and you have.
So you don't feel sorry about shooting a few of
No,
them?
you
Huh?
don't, and they're really good to eat. We feed about 5,000 to 7,000 pounds of corn a month when we're hunting them, and so these corns are about half hog fed. I mean, half corn fed, and about half
What, acorns and all the
acorns,
rest?
grubs, that sort of thing. And I think.
And then they get into your grasses and everything else because you love them for that. You already told us this morning.
Well, I mean.
Now,
I'll
keep it clean.
stick
It's
to
a
the
family show.
positive
Right.
for a moment, but what I was going to say before you rudely interrupted was that they're really good to eat. So I like them much better than deer, and there's no season and there's no limit. But in terms of their dark side, they root up my roads, and found out this year they get the last duck food that we plant that I thought they didn't get, which is barnyard grass, which is a wild grass. So I'm a little angry at the moment. I would really like some help in thinning them out.
How do you hunt primarily here on the ranch?
We take hunters out to stands, two tied. We have enclosed stands and tripods, and we have some mix of just baiting with cedars that go on the back of a pickup or a four-wheeler, and then we have some feeders, and depending on how they're acting, we try to put the hunter where he has the best chance of success. We have about a 90% success rate and about a 125% opportunity rate, but unfortunately,
if you can't shoot, oh well, that's your fault, right?
that's correct.
You're being kind about it, but Here on the ranch, how many hogs do you harvest every season?
Usually 400 to 500.
That many. How many? Any guesstimate on what the population is? I know
Well,
they drift in
I
and
would
out,
guess
but they
we
come
have-
to you like a magnet. I know that.
Well, we have the corn is what brings them in, and we draw from 30 or 40,000 acres. And one of the features of the Big Woods that just reflects my values, I guess, is we're not high fenced. And a lot of the hog operations, they buy hogs and they put them in a pen at maybe 200 acres, so you don't know what you're hunting in. But these hogs are free ranging, fair chase. They're very intelligent. I used to say when I first started, when I realized how smart hogs are, that they would vote Republican. But I think the way things are today, they might split the ticket.
Yeah, and a few even go independent on you, I'm sure. Tell us a little bit about the facilities here for the sportsmen coming down. You are basically a full-service resort, and hunting club. What all do we have?
Well, we have, I think, we get a lot of compliments on our accommodations. They're fairly plush. We feed people very well. They usually leave looking more like me than not when they go.
God help us, but okay. I mean,
and then obviously we are sort of a guide service with hog hunters, so we
Mhm.
take them out and put them in a stand and pick them up. And our deer hunts are somewhat, some of them are guided, and some of them we take them and put them in a stand
drop camp them type of thing for the
Pick 'em
day
up.
and pick them up.
if we remember.
And then shoot, and then some of the shooting facilities, you've got a full rifle range, you've got some shotgun shooting opportunities.
Well, we have a 500-yard rifle range with 40, 100, 200, 300, 400-yard targets. And we have a full sporting place set up with a real nice range. And we have 5 stand. We have some towers. And a lot of the folks that come down, particularly the duck hunt, because we don't allow any duck hunting in the afternoon, they like to take advantage of the sporting place to tune up.
Nice idea. And you've got some beautiful water here too with some fish in it actually.
Well, and folks here on a hunt, we let them fish for free, and I like them to take any bass home under 3 pounds. Our lakes are still fairly young. The one that's the oldest has been stocked for 5 years, and this is the first year we're catching bass over 10 pounds.
So again, Sportsman's Paradise. You've got some nice catfish in there too.
Well, and we have a lot of nice channel cat, and they're running like 4 to 12 pounds right now.
So in essence, bring your rod, bring your gun, and you guys will pretty much take care of the rest of it then. isn't
Well,
it?
we try.
And tell us a little bit about the lodge here. I mean, this.
Well, we have a nice Austin Stone Lodge. We have it's really more for enjoyment than staying or than sleep. We have a full game room with shuffleboard and foosball and poker tables and a pool table, and then we have a lot of compliments on our media room. It'll seat about 20 with about a 10 by 14 screen where we show movies, and corporations often come here and give presentations and have retreats and that sort of thing.
People would like more information as we wrap this up, Doc, on Big Woods and the pricing, seasons, and things like that. All available on a website?
I would first recommend calling 911. No, our website is bigwoodsplural.net, not .com.
Okay, bigwoodsplural.net.
Yes, this got probably more than you'd want to see, but most people find it enjoyable.
Yeah, well, again, we appreciate you taking the time and talking with us today. We're going to take off and we're going to go do a little hog hunting. We're going to do a little fishing here in the program today. We're going to see what's going to happen. We've actually brought down the new Smith & Wesson 460 Magnum revolver. And what Doc says, he shoots them with a .223 most of the time. He says you're way overgunned, but for a pistol and a big hog, I think it's a perfect combination. Take a stand by, everybody. We're going to show you how well we did here at Big Woods on the Trinity when we come back. For Rocky Mountain Television, I'm Andy Lightbody. We've got lots more.
I got that one.
You did.
We're back in hog hunting heaven.
here at the Big Woods Ranch on the Trinity River in Tennessee Colony, Texas.
Well, there's plenty of corn on the ground here for tonight. Andy, since you're pretty much a rookie at this and the hogs don't climb the mountains where you live, I'll tell you a little, explain how we set up some of our hunts here. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Your viewers won't know, but that is south, and that stand there, which is almost 30 feet high, that allows us to hunt with a prevailing south wind because this feeder is north of the stand. The hogs are almost blind, and they have a very keenly developed sense of hearing, but the sense they have that's really non-pareil is a smell. Mm-hmm. And everything about hog hunting has to take that into account or you won't be successful.
That's why you've positioned the feeder this way versus the blind, because of a prevailing wind?
Well, yeah, but you got it, as we say in Texas, backwards. The prevailing wind is wrong here, and I'm making the point, using that to make a point. The only reason we can get away with this is our tallest stand.
Uh-huh.
And so if you're gonna do this, you just gotta get up high where they won't smell you. Most of our stands are about half that tall, and we use a lot of tripods. We try to get the tallest we can get because of smell, and most of our tripods are 16 feet tall.
That's like what we were hunting from last night, then.
Last night, your tripod was to the north of the feeder, and 90% of our stands are set up that way. Mm-hmm. 90% of the time we have a south wind here. But the hogs, I think what happened last night, I'd be surprised if that hog smelled you. I have to tell you, Andy doesn't confess a lot, I'm sure, in these shows. I imagine, I haven't met him before, but I would suspect that he wears a Superman cape, and y'all don't believe that. But I think what happened last night illustrates the intelligence of the hogs. I think the hog that came in running, that Kathy shot, probably was trying to see if there was something there.
Danger
and would have probably, if y'all hadn't shot, that hog probably would have come back, because unlike your first day here, you didn't walk up around and pee on the feeder and mark it. Mm-hmm. And you can't do that. The hogs will smell you an hour or two later.
So stay away from any of the established feeders. There's no reason for the hunter to go up to it.
No, and we only hunt probably half the time over feeders, partly because hogs learn, particularly in the evening, that if they come out before dark, they'll get shot.
They're ham hocks.
And they become nocturnal. And what we try to do generally is where we do use feeders, put them in a very secluded place where it has the appearance of being in the woods. But what we've gotten to a lot is just throwing out corn on the ground where it seems like a random good find for the hogs. And we've been a little more successful doing that. We have a lot of hunters who bring lights with them, and actually the 30 minutes after dark is by far the most fruitful time to hunt at a feeder.
So don't get fooled. Just because you've got a feeder, that hog is, as you said, gets an intelligence factor, whereas we saw last night, he just came blitzing through. I mean, it was like he was a freight train, but you don't think he was put off by anything. He was just checking and scoping.
I think if deer hunters often see that deer will run in fits and starts and trying to see if there's a coyote wants to chase them, and I think that hog was just trying to, he had to come out in the opening, and he wanted to see if there was anything bad there before he came back and ate a relaxed meal. And of course, I suspect the Smith & Wesson pistol falls under the category of bad.
Yeah, it kind of ruined his whole evening, didn't it?
It appeared that way to me.
Briefed all about tree stand hunting, Kathy Mattoon heads high with the Smith & Wesson 460 Magnum revolver, and it doesn't take long.
I heard her in the woods, in the bush, and I could hear her grunting, and I could hear the sticks moving and everything. And so she came on through. She kind of hesitated for a minute, and luckily I heard the noises and was ready for her, because I had my bead on those bushes, and when she came through, opportunity just was there, and it was a good clean shot. So they're a tough animal to knock down, but Doc put us on the hogs, and we're really excited about this, and we're gonna put her in a pit. We're gonna have a hog cook and have us some ham. So my first hog, and Smith & Wesson give us this gun to try out, and it seems awful intimidating at first, but I tell you, I love this pistol. It's got some oomph to it.
Well, one of the beauties of hunting on the big woods on the Trinity River is that you've got a wide diversity of different terrain. You've got open pastures, you've got some pretty heavy hardwood thickets, and this is where the pigs like to kind of disappear on us, don't they?
Well, in the heat of the day, this is where they like to go. We have some water holes in here, and the pigs don't like the heat like the two of us don't. Last night, I think y'all learned how tough they are.
Oh, geez, yeah.
That gun or that pistol she was shooting, and that bullet was really awesome. I frankly, as a physician, I thought it was a King Kong suppository. But you know, that hog ran 200 or 300 yards, and it was really amazing that she could hit a running hog. I've seen part of the video, but I think you understand now why we try to have our guests shoot them in the head.
That does put them down a lot quicker than the traditional try to hit them in the shoulder or behind the shoulder.
If you're going to shoot a hog not in the head and expect to find it on a regular basis, you need a 300 caliber Magnum or better. And it's very rare here that you have to shoot at a hog that's running like she did. In fact, I kind of, last night when I went to bed, I've always been opposed to it, but I can see why now they let women in the military. But it was really an awesome shot, and I think you got an idea how far that hog ran with that big bullet, that they're really tough.
They can suck it
That was
up.
about a 180, 200 pound sow, and that's equivalent to about a 600 or 800 pound deer in terms of the punishment that they can take.
Well, it's been an exceptional time at really what has to be considered an exceptional ranch. If you're used to the typical Texas high fence stuff, you aren't going to find it here. This is miles and miles of open area, great roads, not any gates. Basically, you can transition from one area to the other in either a golf cart, four-wheel drive vehicle. Plenty of game, plenty of good reasons to come down to the big woods on the Trinity. Again, on behalf of everybody that came down, Doc McFarland, who hosted us, gave us great hospitality, in spite of being a crazy old coot. We had an exceptional time, got some great hunting in. We hope you've enjoyed the program. Again, if you'd like more information either on their duck hunting, on some of their deer hunting, some of the great hog hunting that you've seen here in the program, simply go to their website. It's called bigwoods.net. And it's really designed for the common man. That's the way Doc has done it, and I think he's done an exceptional job. For everybody here at Rocky Mountain Television, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Rocky Mountain Television and Outdoor Adventures would like to thank Smith & Wesson for the use of the mighty 460 Magnum revolver, Corbin High Velocity Ammunition, Bushnell Performance Optics, Magnify Life, Wrangler Pro Gear and Rugged Wear, the official clothing provider for Rocky Mountain Television, and the Big Woods on the Trinity, quality open range hunting for hogs, deer, and waterfowl. Additional footage provided by Closing the Distance.